We go to Sean Rose with the stories making the news this week.
Greetings, Edrinka. Greetings, viewers. A rather interesting development this week, and it's coming out of Paraquita Bay. Farmers in the Paraquita Bay area, they are concerned about the dumping of what appears to be raw sewage. It could be treated sewage as well. We're not sure. Yes, it could be biosolids, but we are waiting word from the officials to declare exactly what the waste material is. But the farmers are concerned that the dumping, the area used for dumping, is just above lands being cultivated by farmers. Mr. Coy Smith, he is the president for a group called Farmers on the Move, and he spoke to JTV News earlier today expressing his concerns about the development. Let's hear him in this clip.
It's appalling to see what's going on here today at Paraquita Bay. We have a lot of challenges taking place right now. I suppose it's raw sewage that is being dumped here for disposal. It'll have to be looked into further to see exactly what it is, what's the content of the matter. But it's not healthy to see that the farming community is being used up for things that is not in line with farming. So we definitely don't have a support in what's going on here. We are very much displeased with the Department of Agriculture, mostly because they are right in front of what's going on, and I'm sure they know exactly what's going on. And furthermore, the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor, who is supposed to ensure that things are done in the interest of protecting a natural resource. Farming seems to be on the back burner, and as a member of the Farmers on the Move, we definitely will not stand for this. We want to see more productivity. We want to see how we can protect a vital industry, an industry that needs more support than anything. So we are going to do something about what's going on here in Paraquita Bay today. All of the farmers who have an interest will definitely rally around this whole issue and ensure that it's put to a stop. This is not healthy for our food productivity in the future.
And while the sludge, this sewage sludge, is of some use to the agricultural sector, it has to be applied in very particular ways, in that there are processes that you must follow. You have to, for example, pay attention to the nitrate content of the soil. So if, for example, if it's below MP3, then you have to determine how much you apply and at what time. And of course, the use of the land is also of particular concern, whether you're growing vegetables or if it's tree crops and so forth. So it is of some use, but according to some of the research I've been paying attention to, in particular some research material coming out of the UK and in Canada, where it is used, again, it is applied based on certain specific application modules. They are very, very careful about how it is applied to the soil. In this case, however, the concern in particular seems to be the proximity of the dumping site to what is referred to as the main gut in the Paraquita Bay area that apparently services the other wells or the main wells in the Paraquita Bay area. So it's not all the way up on the hill, but pretty much I would say halfway up, just in the vicinity of the H. Laverty Stout Community College. After you pass that gap and you go up past the agricultural station, and you make a right and you go up on the hill. As you can see, it's an open trench situation there. We are not sure who is doing the dumping. In fact, I asked the farmers who, and they said they have not seen any truck coming up in the area delivering the waste material during the day. They are suggesting it's usually in the wee hours of the morning and so forth. So, and of course, there seems to have been no consultation with the farmers. They are not aware what's being done. And even though the situation may be safe, I think someone should have allayed their fears initially and have that discussion with them. So certainly, whether or not it is of any major concern, apart from the fact that the farmers are in fact concerned, is yet to be determined.
Were you able to determine how long, or anyone able to determine how long the dumping has been going on?
No, I can't tell you in any precise way. But what I can tell you, we saw three major trenches being used. The one further up the hill is practically full. That I would suggest may have been going on for a couple of months. The those that you're seeing there now on screen, they are quite new. In fact, the land there was cleared to accommodate the dumping, so that particular area, and it's fresh. It was recently cleared. I would say maybe a week or two ago it was cleared, and the sludge in that area looks quite fresh. So I would suspect that that particular stage of the dumping has been going on over the last couple of days. We saw a tree that was cut down, and you could have easily...
Was the Water and Sewage Department able to tell us anything about what was going on there?
No, well, I can tell you I had some conversation that I won't disclose in the interest of protecting the persons who I spoke with. And they have indicated that the matter will be looked into. And that's why for the purpose of this discussion, I'm sticking particularly with what the farmers, the concerns expressed by the farmers. And I'm saying that I'm sure that we're going to get word as we move in further down this week as to exactly what is the nature of the dumping,
so we're not able
how safe it is, and so
forth. We're not
forth.
able to tell whether it's a private concern or it is a government agency.
Whether it's a private agency doing the dumping.
A private company or is a government agency doing the dumping. Are we able to tell?
Right. You notice you heard the farmers suggesting that the governments, in fact, in another interview, the farmers seems to be quite clear as to who is doing the dumping. But I am not. I have not been there at the wee hours of the morning where they're suggesting that this has been done.
The farmers,
so I can't verify that.
The farmers are clear who's doing the dumping.
They seem to be very clear, but I can't verify that.
They didn't make a statement about. They didn't say anything about who they think it is.
That's what I'm saying. In the other interviews, the other farmers said clearly who they think is doing who believe is doing the dumping.
Who do they believe is doing the dumping?
They are suggesting it's the government, but I don't have that evidence. I can't verify that, and that's why.
You weren't able to get anything.
And that's what I was making reference to just a while ago when I said that I am protecting the interests of the people I spoke to, who were very professional in their response to me, and therefore I'm applying the same level of professionalism in allowing them time to address the situation, and for the time being staying on point in terms of the farmers' concerns about what they regard as unsafe dumping of what appears to be sludge in that area above lands being cultivated.
How close is the dumping to the new sewage plant that has just been built? You know,
it's far away from there. And I gave you a direction a while ago, which indicates you're passing the H. Lavity Stowell Community College, which is way far from the new sewage, the water treatment plant at Paraquita Bay. So I can't make that connection if that's what you're hinting to.
I'm thinking on the plant. I think is either completed or almost in the final stage of completion, and whether they may have been
testing. That's the Seven Seas water treatment plant.
Where they may have been testing in the area. I couldn't tell, but I'm hoping that we could, in the not too distant future, get a clearer understanding of what's exactly going on there. But the farmers seem to have a different underlying issue, though, according to Kai Smith, regarding the support for farming in the area, but specifically in the territory generally. Exactly,
and that's why I said too that in fact the fact that the sludge is being dumped there is probably not the major concern, in that based on the research, I'm repeating myself, but based on the research I looked at in Canada and in England and so forth, applying sludge to farmlands is done. However, it is being done in controlled measures and so forth, and a number of specifications are adhered to. I was saying earlier too that I think it would have been good if the farmers were consulted on the dumping of the waste material in that area, and maybe their affairs would have been allayed. They would have been quite comfortable with what's happening if in fact it is a safe practice.
Did they say if they were able to they attempt to have a conversation with any agency, any government agency, whether it's water, sewage, or the Ministry of Natural Resources and Labor?
No, they didn't. They didn't indicate that. What they did indicate in relation to your most recent question is the fact that they don't feel supported by the agricultural department or the government as it relates to ensuring that farming is kept alive in Paraquita Bay and maybe by extension across the territory, but certainly in the Paraquita Bay area, the farmers are concerned that there isn't much support for them. You may recall that there wasn't a farmers' week in 2016. It was postponed as a result, largely because of the of what we're told, the drought situation. But the farmers on the move, you may have seen them. They have had one activity which is quite similar to a Farmers Week activity at the Noel Lloyd Action Movement Park. And I understand that they also plan to hold a similar activity maybe on Virgin God. I'm not sure if they're going to go through with that. So basically, in their minds, farming is still alive and well, and they're doing their best to keep the production of produce and vegetables and so forth locally alive and well.
Yeah. Well, I think it'll be a good time now with this new development to find out about the greenhouses that's been sitting there for quite some time, and I know we've heard.
Well, it depends on what you want to find out.
Well, we've heard from the minister that he planned. There were people that were interested. There were people that were interested in using the greenhouses for farming, and I think if I understand correctly, or my recollection is accurate, we were engaging in conversations with persons who were hoping to take over the greenhouses and increase farming production
And you're
in
right.
the area. But that has been some time now has
Yes.
passed since we've heard that, and so that's why I'm indicating that perhaps we need to take a look at that and see what the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of
Natural Resources and Labor.
Natural Resources and Labor
Yes.
has to say about their plans for the greenhouses and how soon will the greenhouses be coming on stream. That's certainly something that
That's a very interesting question. In fact,
that we
looking
can
at
look
a closer look at the greenhouses in Paraquita Bay, if you look on screen, you would see what's happening. The structures, they are deteriorating. The roofs are caving in, and they are pretty much at the elements are taking a toll on the structures. So clearly, even if they are to be taken over by a local or foreign entity, some great degree of reconstruction will have to take place. Basically, $5+ million is threatening to go to waste there in Paraquita Bay. And the use of hydroponics in that area is something that I'm sure many people are questioning. Of course, there is the water treatment plant just next door now, so maybe the possibilities for putting them to use are much higher than hitherto.
Yeah, but they have the water treatment plant. They have the new sewage plant that's going to become operational in the near future. So there's a lot going on in that area, and I'm hoping perhaps that this news department could follow up and see what is going to happen in the near term regarding the greenhouses. Because certainly,
Well, Dr. Pickering, the minister, he holds the secret to that. He's the one who has that information, and I'm sure at some stage. Mind you, he has only had 2 press conferences, one addressing the very issue of the greenhouses in Paraquita Bay, and one which was in 2015 on the influx of seaweed in the territory and around the territory and so forth. And since then, we have not had a fulsome disclosure on the matter relating to the plants there in Paraquita Bay and whether or not there is any progress with the foreign entity who was interested in taking over that very expensive investment and turning it into good use for the territory and produce vegetables and other agricultural produce.
Well, Sean, that's quite an interesting development. Thank you very much for that report. And we're looking forward to get additional information regarding the development of the sewage in that area, and also to see what's going to be happening in the near term with the greenhouses. Thanks a lot for that report.